Hello everyone, this is the Inquisitor, and today we're going to be collecting and ranking every single new Hypercharge in the game, all 6 of them. So, as you can see, I already have the Buzz Hypercharge, which is one of the 6 new ones, Buzz Watch, and this was because they gave a free Hypercharge for everyone. So, I'll be ranking all of them in order from what I think is worst to best, and buying them in that order. So just saying, little spoiler, but you're not going to see Buzz for a while. First thing we have is what I think is going to be the worst Hypercharge out of these 6 new ones, and that is Thorns for Sprout. So let's quickly get it. I have 50,000 coins. I can get all of them, but I would not suggest you to get this Hypercharge. So basically what this Hypercharge does is now Sprout Super, which creates the wall, the vine hedge, will also damage enemies who are like touching it. And I don't think I need to explain to you why this is horrible. But you know what, we're gonna play it. I'm gonna see if I can try to charge it. Hypercharges are quite hard to charge, and I'll be showing it in action. But basically, I think this is gonna be the worst one out of this update for the new Hypercharges. And yeah, I'll show why. Sprout is a completely support brawler, and having your Hypercharge be a damaging one, especially one that barely does any damage, is not very good. Now, I will say that, so basically Sprout Super, if you don't know what it is, it creates a wall. It quite literally locks, and having the gadget will also charge it. Don't worry, it's not going to charge you. Okay, so I already have my Hypercharge, but I'm not going to activate it because I want you to see it with the sticker. Okay, so ready? This might be a good one. So you put the Hypercharge down, it creates a wall, and now you see Bibi took 1000 damage from that, which is pretty horrendous because, and Bibi has been Hypercharge. We'll be going over Bibi's. I don't think it's that amazing, though it's decent. So anyway, yeah, that kind of shows you how terrible this Sprout one is. I don't understand why some people think it's actually good. It's pretty terrible. Sprout is a good brawler. Sprout is a decent brawler, but his Hypercharge is so bad. He also has one of the best supers in the game for repositioning purposes. But as a Hypercharge, like, having the super do damage is like so, I don't know, it feels useless. Also, another thing that you need to keep in mind, Sprout doesn't use his Hypercharge well. So I'm gonna, yeah, see, it has a very small radius. As you see, it sparks, it shows will do damage, and I don't know, it doesn't seem to really be doing it. Like, it's not, you're not meant to use it as an offensive tool. Okay, I'm gonna try. But Sprout cannot utilize his Hypercharge, simple as that. He doesn't. I like how every single person has Hypercharge. Wow, this is what Hypercharge is. Okay, I'm gonna block this. Also, better not sell. Okay, good. Okay, let me quickly get my super back. So, Sprout is a thrower, artillery brawler, which basically means he cannot use his Hypercharge well at all, because throwers cannot utilize this super aggressive nature of the Hypercharge. And right now we're winning because, let's face it, every single person in this lobby has a Hypercharge, and that's basically how the game is. So that was quickly running through Sprout's Hypercharge, and I'll say, out of 6 Hypercharges, this is the worst one. With the whole Hypercharge, we did 1000 damage. Obviously, I could have got more hits in, but Hypercharges only last 5 seconds now without even buffing, and as you see, 5% shield, 5% damage, 5%, 25% damage, 25% speed. Pretty mediocre stats. This add up to 55%, which is actually lower compared to most. And honestly, the shield, not having a shield, is fine because he's a thrower, and having the damage is important. So the buffs are decent, but this Hypercharge that it does damage is just so wrong. I would much rather that the Hypercharge would be an unbreakable wall, because I feel like Sprout really needed that. As you saw, many people broke my walls. So next one on the list, Second worst Hypercharge, most people are going to call this one the worst, but I'll give you reasons why I think it's the second worst one, and that is Belle's Hypercharge Magnetic. Basically, this makes her super the only element of skill in her kit, homing, completely homing, very good at homing. And I feel like, and I don't like this trend with Hypercharges where quite literally, what it does, it makes the downsides of the super and removes them from only the upsides, which I don't like that. But this is the second worst Hypercharge in my opinion. So I'll be showing you how to do it, how to use it, and I'll be ranking it, and I bought it. And just saying for the stats, 5% shield, 5% damage, 26% speed. Basically, it's the same thing as Sprout with 1% more speed. I don't know why they have super specific numbers like these, but might as well do it. So, okay, I'll be showing this one. Yeah, let's do Gem Grab. Belle. So people are calling this the worst one because it's not good. Basically, what it does, worst map possible to show this, and because Belle's a sniper. But you know, we'll see if we can get a Hypercharge. But anyway, why is, according to most people, this the worst? Okay, I can get brain freeze. So why, according to most people, this is the worst Hypercharge in the game, or at least one of the worst Hypercharges in the game? It's because it doesn't buff the super in any way. The super is equally as good as it always is. The super is equally good as it always is, and all it does, it makes it easier to hit your super, which is like, if you're already good at aiming it, you don't need it. But it's way better than Sprout. I'll just tell you right away. Because what it does, it makes... I can't hit them. I can't hit them. I have to go from this side. Okay, this is... Okay, so... Yeah, I missed the super there. And if I had a Hypercharge, I would have hit that right there. I don't have the Hyper... So I do think it's better. I'll probably do a second nail. Okay, so I'll show you right now. Hypercharge, super, and it does that. And it completely misses. Because the way auto aim works in Brawl Stars is it curves to the nearest enemy. And if you have two enemies equally distanced from each other, it's gonna dodge in between them. So in some ways it is worse. That's the thing. But hopefully we'll get a more open map where I can actually showcase. But I do think there is some reasons why I think it's better than Sprout. One, snipers can use the Hypercharge better. The speed and the damage, they can utilize it more, and it's very good in close situations, while Sprout cannot really do anything with it. Please be open map. It's like, yeah, you know, I thought the maps were getting better, but I guess not. Well, we can also work with this one though.
Come on, let's go, gang. You got me.
Okay, the moment we create space, like on this, the actual gem mine is pretty.
Gotta get a hot start. Hey, I got a job to do.
Okay, that's a spotter right there. That's what the Hypercharge pops. It's really good super. It's a good super. And before, the only real downside to it was the fact that, okay, that's perfect. I have the Hypercharge and I'm dead. But that's okay. Because I can showcase to you right here.
Time to shoot and loot.
So what this also does, that's very good, is it increases the range of it. So that hit, you saw that? That hit, and he has the super spotter hit. So what it does, this is another reason I think this Hypercharge is good, because it also increases the range of the spotter. We lost. Without a wall break option, we can't win. Belle is not a great brawler. That's I think the main reason people say this is not good. Belle's not a good brawler, but if Belle was better, it's a fine Hypercharge. It's not good. I would say it's one of the worst in the game. As you see, Buzz Hypercharge is probably the best one in this update, and because of this, we clearly are winning. But yeah, Belle's it's okay. Honestly, I don't mind it. I don't think it's like I don't like that all it does is remedy the problem with the super, but at least it does not forget the point of the super, which is quite literally hit someone with it. And I'll get. And you know, I think that's enough showcase. There's not much to say about Belle. It's like, it's a homing shot. Like, what more do you expect from it? But I do think it's better than Sprout, by far. Yet, I would not buy this. Ever buy this. Unless you're like a Belle main or something. because it's not that good either. I'll start saying when the Hypercharge is actually good, because so far these two are not good. They're pretty bad. So okay, which one's the next worst? So here's the two options. I'll tell you which one I think is worse. So there's Bibi's Hypercharges. What were the other ones that came out? There's Cordelius's Hypercharge, Buzz Hypercharge, and El Primo's Hypercharge, yes. So clearly there is the next worst one, and that is Bibi's Hypercharge. So let me quickly review what Bibi's Hypercharge is, and that's out of bounds. While it's active, your super will split. Your bouncy ball will split when it hits the enemy, and basically doubles the super. Just saying, it only does this once. If the split hits the enemy, it doesn't split again. And you can clearly see something here. The shield is 25%, the speed is 24%, and the damage is 5%. This is very important because Bibi has very good damage, but she has bad, but her mobility and shield is the thing that concerns. So why is this Hypercharge better? Simply because Bibi is an aggressive brawler, an aggro brawler, and getting this boost is insanely valuable. Just the boost. The super is not very important. It does do a little bit more damage, but it's not very good. Also, I think it's one of the best looking ones, like for the super effects, and I think this is a good build for it. So let's go and gem grab and try it out. If the map isn't good, I'll probably do it in Heist, because she's also decent in Heist, especially with this Hypercharge. Might be very good in Heist. Okay, this is a very good map. I'm not a fan of Hypercharge. I think Hypercharge remove a lot of skills in the game, and I think this has, ever since they came out. So Bibi is not a strong brawler. Bibi is a bad brawler, and I'm not a fan of Bibi, so my opinion might be shifted. But I do think, so as you see, that person and that creative team, it's like, I don't think that Bibi utilized the Hypercharge well. Just saying, just because you have the Hypercharge doesn't mean you have to use it instantly. It's more like a tool. Oh, Bibi's gonna come here. I got it. That's all I know. Bibi's not a good brawler. I don't know. But this Hypercharge is decent. It's decent. If you like Bibi, I would suggest getting it. Though I would say the next 3 Hypercharges are better. Okay, so let's show it right now. Hypercharge up, create the super, it splits into 2, and we get another hit here, and we got a kill there. And you see, that was a pretty good use of the Hypercharge. We got value, but in the end, we got a kill. We got 1 kill out there. We displaced the other people. There you go. And also, Bibi has good potential when it comes to cycling her Hypercharge. Also, it's easy. And as you see, we're using this Hypercharge and we're getting the speed. Like, oh, I forgot. I didn't know I had more than one. It's fine. It's just map maker, and we're gonna win either way. This team is really bad. The enemy too. Ooh. So it's a good Hypercharge. As you clearly see, I'm getting tons of value with it, and it's very good. But I do think the next 3 I'm gonna show you are better, just simply better. But this is where it starts being good. I think this one is decent. The Hypercharge effect, like, it's not crazy, bouncing it off. It might be really good with the gadget. I probably should have used it with this gadget, where the super slows them down. But I don't know. I didn't think of that. Either way, it's not a very good gadget. So next up, we have 3 more. And people, I think, really want to know which of these 3 are the best. And that is El Primo's Hypercharge, Cordelius Hypercharge, and Buzz Hypercharge. And I'll say this right away. I'm gonna say it's Cordelius. Cordelius gets the next. Some people say this Hypercharge is worse, but honestly, Cordelius is one of the best brawlers in the game. This Hypercharge is very good. And what it is, it's complete darkness. And when you during the Hypercharge, if you put enemy into the Shadow Realm, they will be slowed down. What's important here is not the super. It's not the hypercharge. This effect is pretty terrible because either way, if you're losing in the Shadow Realm, then there's a problem right away. It's not gonna fix it. It's literally just amplifying the super, which is already very strong. But what's good is the speed and the damage. Another downside, which why I get why people say this is not the best, is because it's stuck in the Shadow Realm. You cannot really get team wipes with this Hypercharge, though I still think it's very good. And I'm gonna activate it. So there's something to keep in mind that's pretty important about this Hypercharge. I don't use this gadget. There's something to keep in mind that's very important about this Hypercharge. Don't activate it, then throw the super. Activate it, get some hits in, then throw the super. Because if you immediately throw the super, then you're wasting the whole Hypercharge against one person. Either way you win. But if you wait till the last second, then do it, they will still be slowed down during the Shadow Realm. And you can still take advantage. Well, this is, I think, the third best one. I think this one's good. I do think this one's better than Bibi's Hypercharge. Also, not to mention, he has the zone, right? He has the zone around him. So, he can actually charge it through the area zone. It's not a very good zone. Okay, Shadow Realm down. And as you see, we already have tons of advantages in the Shadow Realm. As you can. And we don't charge the Hypercharge in the Shadow Realm. These are very important things to keep in track of. And it's around like 3 super. It's... How did I miss? That's not good. Okay, maybe Shelly can do something with the Hypercharge. Basically, here's how it is. You have Hypercharge, you win. So, we're gonna get the Hypercharge very soon, but we need to protect this gem. No. Okay, this is a good time. Throw it super. And as you see, they're very slow. You saw how slow they are? That's the good thing with this Hypercharge. But then again, we lose it. I think this is a good Hypercharge because it ensures you win in the Shadow Realm. And that's all that really matters with... That's all that really matters with Cordelius, is to make sure you win your 1v1. And this Hypercharge just amplifies probably one of the best brawlers in the game. That was a lucky shot this time. See, his job is to win 1v1. And as you see, you can really use this Hypercharge well. It's not the fastest charging one, that's for sure, but it's a very good. And next we have the last two. We have El Primo's Hypercharge and Buzz Hypercharge. And I'll say this right away. It's quite obvious. El Primo's next. He has the second best Hypercharge because it's a really good effect. And it's this. Well, during the Hypercharge, if you use a super, you will... Okay, what is this? Gravity Leap. Leaping high, El Primo drops intergalactic elbow that brings enemies to the epicenter. Basically what that means is, rather than pushing people back during the super, it pulls them in. Not to mention, he got some massive buffs. So we're clearly going to take advantage of the buffs by using El Fuego, which burns them, and Super Supple. I'll probably, Meteor Rush might be good. Yeah, well, let's do El Fuego, it's much cooler. And let's do it. This is, I think, the second best. Tanks always use the Hypercharge. Tanks and Assassin use the Hypercharge best. Assassins use it better than tanks, though I think El Primo's Hypercharge effect is simply probably one of the best. Probably better than Buzz's, which is going to be the first one. It's better than Buzz, but Buzz will use it better because Buzz is an Assassin and El Primo's well a tank. And this is very good at the team wipe potential, I think. Overall, the Hypercharges this season aren't as broken as last season, and this is a pretty terrible map. But luckily for us, most of the enemies aren't very good at far range. And look at this, people are gonna quit, like you can expect. Yeah, we lost, but let's see if we can get anything out of this. It's a pretty fast charging Hypercharge, plus he has the tank trait, which means, yeah, this is all the games right now. So as you see right now, okay, of course not. But anyway, hitting someone with the super will knock them back usually, but with the Hypercharge you're gonna push them closer. This is a pretty bad map. El Primo needs a very bushy map, plus we have one teammate who doesn't want to play. never mind. So we're trying to carry the super from them. Edgar is one of the best hypercharges in the game. We're gonna see if we can get the hypercharge. It's so sad to see everyone spamming the hypercharge. Like, oh, okay, that's a good super. So we have the hypercharge ready, but I'm not gonna use it until I have the super, and maybe we can get value. This might be very good. Hypercharge, super, pull in, and we didn't get too much value. Though, never mind, Cordelius is. Yeah, that wasn't a good example. But usually we would get that kill. Probably, if we had more health, we would get the kill for sure. And yeah, this was a bad match. We had a teammate that didn't want to play, and yeah, I don't think they're gonna play. They're not gonna attack me because they don't want me to charge the super. So, you know, I'll quickly. I don't think this was a great showcase of this hypercharge, but you should get this one if you like tanks. If you like El Primo, get this hypercharge. I want to get straight into the buzz one, but it's a very good one. We did get some value with it, not insane value, but you know what? Getting the supercharged gear might be very helpful with it. Honestly, don't use this build, but good hypercharge, very good hypercharge, really good. Last one's buzz, and there's no explaining this. This is the best one. When it came out, it was so broken. They nerfed it before it released. Before, what it is, it makes his super insta reload if you hit a wall. Before, it worked also if you hit an enemy. So basically, you spam the super button. And this had the most balanced spread of the stats. 15%, 15%, 25%. That's insane amount of stats. Very good. Wait, I forgot what El Primo's was. Yeah, same. Yeah, this is the best one. Best one. Not to mention, Buzz has the super loading zone. It's like, okay, you want to see. I want a more, like, I don't want a crazy map. And this seems like a very good map to play it on. This heist map. So we'll do it there. This is the best hypercharge. No question. Buzz is an assassin. I will say this right away. None of the hypercharges this season are that amazing. Last season had all the broken hypercharges. Pretty sure Leon was last season. I don't know. But this makes it 24 hypercharges, I think. 24, 32 hypercharges in the game. Or 30. I think 24. 24 hypercharges. Yeah. 6 over 4. And this is one of the weaker batches of hypercharges. I do think even the best one is... This one I think is A tier hypercharge. There's still like 5 or 6 better than this one. And as you can expect, 5 out of 6 brawlers here have a hypercharge available. Doesn't mean they have it, but most people will have it. The Bibi has it. Dynamite has probably one of the best hypercharges. So as you see, my goal right now is to charge the hypercharge as fast as possible. We got around 1/3, almost half. That's fine. The goal is to get the hypercharge, because with the hypercharge, you're gonna see something very... Okay, someone's here. Very close to the hypercharge. As you see, it's the fastest loading one, and that's very important to keep in mind. So I'm not gonna use this one, because I want to get the hypercharge active. And I'll show you something very cool. Not very practical, but it's very cool. So you activate it, and as you hit walls, it's gonna instantly bounce it. And as you see, we insta charge the super, and that was almost a team wipe. As you see, this is why it's such a good hypercharge, because you're almost ensured that the moment you run out of the hypercharge, you'll instantly get your super again. And I don't understand why this person is not Bibi. They are gonna push up. I'm gonna try to get the hypercharge again for you guys, and let's see if we can get it without dying. We're very close to it, and I want to see if I can get a team wipe. He has a very good hypercharge. As you see, look at that. We're still alive. That's the best part, because it comes with a shield. Can we please win this? We're literally 1% from winning. No. Anyway, I think we got very good examples. I see. Look at this. Actually, never mind. That was not the reason. But we got like 7 kills. That was very good. That was a very good example though. We got 2 almost team wipes. And that concludes my ranking of all the new Hypercharges. If you want to see some of the older Hypercharges, like, they're not very cool. Some of them are completely broken, like Leon's. I have all the Hypercharges in the game, and let's say I probably got value from like 5 of them. But anyway, if you want to pick any of them up, that's up to you. But those were what I think are the worst and best Hypercharges in the game out of all the new ones. And this is the Inquisitor signing off.